will say. There's got to be a way to stop them here.
Outsider control of Michigan's upper peninsula is nearly complete. Casualties minimized due to effective evacuation, but neighboring communities are unable to take...
Good, you're here. I need a word.
Angie, how are you doing with everything that happened?
Axis is dead. As for Pete, I lost him years ago, Will. This was just the final goodbye.
I'm sorry.
Thanks. Now, let's get back to work. We don't have much time.
What do you mean?
We were right. This attack is the precursor for a larger one. The rest of their forces will be here in hours. A day, if we're lucky.
Anything else useful? Weapon schematics, weaknesses, that sort of thing?
No obvious weaknesses, if that's what you mean. Axis was head of their invasion, so he knew everything about their troop strength and deployments.
That ought to give the analysts something to work with.
Not that we have any time. The main force will be here within a matter of hours.
Better than nothing. We can send word to evacuate while we try to shut down their command.
Exactly. Meanwhile, Weir is calculating exactly where we'll be going.
You find what you were looking for back there?
I knew putting him down wasn't going to change much. It won't bring anyone back, but I can sleep a little easier. Thanks, Will, for giving me that chance.
This strike sounds like it'll be a one-way trip.
Maybe. I'm not going to worry about it. If we die, we die. I'm going to make sure that Origin comes with us.
I'm glad we're on the same page.
I've lost as much as anyone in this war, and I'll damned well be there to finish it.
I want you to know, what happened with your brother back there?
Will, it's okay. You were right. It had to be done.
I only hope you'd do the same for me if it came down to it.
If it's you, I won't have to think twice.
Ah, thanks.
But thank you, Will. And I'm sure Pete would thank you too.
There's not a lot of time.
Understood. Go check on Weir for the target's coordinates. I'll be ready when you are.
So always
Tell me again how it happened. We're taking cover behind the crates when suddenly my mind was just full of this one idea. Over and over again. And what was that idea? Team leader and enemy. Over and over.
What's with the extra security?
Director's order.
Report. Despite defeat of invasion commander Axis, there are no signs of disarray among outsider forces. Increased mosaic communications are believed to have minimized outsider logistical disadvantage.
Mein Gott! Be careful mit that delirium! We must have the utmost caution!
That's everything we need. Run those to the director and tell him I'll meet him at the hangar. Ah, Carter, just in time.
Got our travel plans ready, Doc?
Yes. I've just finished calculating the coordinates for our strike, and I've tested the Vengate as well as I can, given the conditions.
We won't get a second shot at this.
Well then, I suppose it's now or never.
That's a strange thing to hear coming from you.
Sometimes the best test is a live one, Carter.
We're risking it all on this, but I know you haven't let us down yet.
I'll be risking my life on it too. After all, you'll need me there to operate the gates.
So, the data from Axis gave you the coordinates you needed. Where do they point?
Most definitely. They point to a particularly isolated point in orbit around the alien homeworld.
Where exactly is the alien homeworld?
It's hard to describe precisely without a star map, but it's approximately 600 light-years away from Earth, in the Cygnus constellation.
They're a long way from home.
Planets that can sustain our kind of life are few and far between, even in an infinite universe.
You've opened other Vengates before, right? This isn't all just theoretical.
Of course. You were there when Lawrence and I opened the first one.
That didn't exactly turn out well.
No, but it worked. And we've had success in smaller tests since then, using recovered outsider technology.
Well, that's good to hear, I think.
Of course, the real test will be transferring something as large as the Avenger, We'll see about that soon enough, though.
We're gonna be relying on your work. I sure hope it makes the grade, Doctor.
As do I. You're not the only one whose life is on the line. Can't say I relish the risk of dying so far away from home, but how many scientists have a chance to see an alien world?
Don't think of it as dying far away from home. Think of it as dying to save your home.
Yes. That's much more comforting, isn't it?
Please report to Director Falk in office.
Any idea what we can expect to find on their homeworld?
I suppose it's time. See you in the Avenger, Carter. Thankfully, the Outsiders seem to have a similar environment and gravity to our own. No doubt that's why they chose Earth for their conquest. But the rest may be, as they say, quite alien.
What sort of defenses would they have?
The Avengers' stealth ability should get us past the toughest defenses, but it looks like you'll have to do the last leg of the trip on foot.
Just me and my squad in an alien base? Sounds like fun.
Their security will no doubt be fierce, but I'm happy to say it'll be limited. They apparently try to keep Origin's location secret, so they can't garrison an entire army around it.
We're gonna be relying on your work. I sure hope it makes the grade, Doctor.
As do I. You're not the only one whose life is on the line. Can't say I relish the risk of dying so far away from home, but how many scientists have a chance to see an alien world?
Don't think of it as dying far away from home. Think of it as dying to save your home.
Yes. That's much more comforting, isn't it?
I was wondering.
Things seem scattered. What's going on?
Herr Falk has had my best men working on a special edition for the Avenger. I hardly have time for our latest breakthrough.
Special edition. I don't like surprises, Doc.
Not to worry, William. Just a small contingency plan. But in the course of its development, we made a most remarkable discovery.
So what did you discover, Doc?
It is a cure for the sleepwalker infection. Or a possible cure, at least. It has yet to be tested on a live subject, but Dr. Hera has high hopes.
You said you're adding something to the Avenger. Isn't a flying saucer impressive enough?
I apologize, William, but Director Falk has demanded total secrecy on this project. Even the different teams do not know the full details of how their creations will be used.
That doesn't inspire a lot of trust, Doc.
I understand, William. I truly do. But Herr Falk saw how information about the Avenger got out, and he has no intention for that to happen once again.
Suppose I can't blame him.
There is no way to put a simple number on that, my boy. We have a real chance, and that is more than we have had since this war began.
But if you were a betting man?
If I were a betting man, I would find a way to rig the system so that I would win. Because if I were a betting man, you can be assured that I would also be a cheating man.
Well, I'm glad you're cheating for our team, then. So you think you have a cure for the sleepwalkers?
One of Dr. Veer's projects involves disrupting the connection to Mosaic. With some minor modification, and the medical assistance of Dr. Hera, I believe it could partially reverse the effects of the infection.
Even a partial cure is better than nothing. Can I do anything to help?
Actually, yes. Dr. Hera has asked if you could assist with the first human test.
Why me? I'm no doctor.
I do not know his reasonings, but I'm inclined to trust his judgment. If you have time, of course.
To find a cure, I'll make the time.
Wunderbar. He is preparing in the observation lab, and when you are finished, I would appreciate your report.
We've both got a lot to get done.
Indeed, William. In the next hours, we will decide the course of human history.
One way or another.
Hey, Carter. You really going on the adventure? Things must be getting desperate out there. Reminder, extended exposure to unprocessed Illyrium is believed to be a serious health risk.
Get those evacuation orders out, and keep the agents defending the high-profile targets.
Yes, sir. Understood. We'll keep everything running until you return.
Your inexplicable confidence is noted and appreciated, Chelsky. Well, here's Carter now.
of return is critical and mandatory.
Carter, good. I'm told that everything is ready.
Yes, sir.
Glad to hear it. We'll depart within the hour.
That's it?
Carter,
No speeches? Nothing to say?
this isn't the time for speeches, Carter. You know what's at stake, and you know the odds.
Yes, sir, I do.
I'd expect no less.
Don't sound so grim, old man. I'm not that easy to kill.
Every man has his limits, but if anyone can pull this off, it's you, Carter.
That's because I don't do things halfway.
And that's exactly why I picked you.
I just don't understand. Our missions have been a success.
No, your missions have been a success, if you'd call losing 2 towns and barely escaping with your objective successful. And even so, no one else has your success rate in the field.
We can get more agents, better training.
The outsiders are the ones with an endless stream of troops, not us. There's only one option. We've got to take the fight to them.
Hasn't this Origin been around for, well, forever for all we know? What if stopping him and shutting down Mosaic isn't as simple as shooting him in the head?
We've made every preparation we can with the information we have. And if that's not enough, well, you've shown a talent for thinking on your feet.
You're telling me to improvise? That's a change. What if we get there and I don't have the tools I need?
Don't worry, I've got a backup plan. But frankly, you're the best chance we've got.
Supposing we do manage to close the gates, what happens to the outsider forces on Earth?
I'm leaving a detailed battle plan. It's currently being distributed to the acting Joint Chiefs. The hope is that once we've separated our world from theirs, enemy supply lines will be cut off and the individual enemy platoons will be severed from the central command. This ought to give our military the edge they need to finish things.
Doesn't sound like you plan on being around for the cleanup.
The odds of us returning from this mission are slim. No use pretending otherwise.
I'm ready to go. I'll meet you in the Avenger.
You know what's at stake here, Carter, and you know the odds. You've survived this long. I know you're the right man for the job.